Hi, and welcome to the collective reading for the week of December 26th through Sunday, January 1st. How is everybody doing? Happy Christmas to you, because you should be if you're joining me live. This is on December 25th. So thank you for coming and hanging out with me in the live chat. I really enjoy our being together so much. So let's take a look at what's going on overall this week. We have Mercury turning retrograde. I'm actually going to pull cards for each of the signs of the zodiac for that at the end of this general overview for the week. We have the moon starting out in Aquarius, and then on Tuesday and Wednesday being in Pisces, really asking you to focus in on your dreams and your goals and your wishes and what you want so that you can create structure for it. We have Venus conjuncting exactly with Mercury on Thursday, after it's stationed retrograde, to really encourage us to think about what is the plan that we want to make and how do we want to develop it. Because by Sunday, she comes and joins up with Saturn, but Pluto, about how do you want to transform the situation before she moves on the 2nd into Aquarius. And so Venus is really asking you, what's of value to you this week? What is important to you? What do you want to grow? What do you want to produce? And we have some great date night energy coming up on Thursday. Friday, not so much. I think Friday you might want to rest up for the holiday festivities on the 31st. And I just want to take a moment, speaking of the 31st, to say go blue. Go blue. I checked the astrology like at the beginning of the year, and I was like, ooh, they make it to that game, to the national championship. Michigan has a good chance. So, and then you got to get through TCU first. So that's my goal. All right. So let's see what we have. Oh my God, I love this. Okay. So I keep saying, if you haven't seen your 2023 sneak peeks, you really need to take a look at them. But this is the year of the 7, and the 7 is about aligning your actions with your intentions. And so this week, in this pause and this break and this space of quiet, and it really is the ending of the 1 year and beginning of the next year. We've got Mercury moving retrograde, slowing things down. Mars is currently retrograde, slowing things down. And so this is the time to assess, because by the time we get to the 3rd week in January, we are going to start moving along. And so you are being asked this week to really get in alignment, to take the time to dream the big dream. It's almost like taking a maze, not maze in blue, just maze, taking a maze, figuring out where the end goal is and working your way backwards to the start. And so in order to figure out all the steps, you got to know what the target is. You have to know where you're going. You have to decide and discern what is of value to you. What do you want to a year from now? A year from now, the last week of 2023. What do you want to look back and say, wow, I did that. That was great. Now let's plan for the next phase, right? And so this is some great energy. Overall, we got the card of Venus in Aries, which they call it the card of lust. It has this fiery gecko energy. It's really the card of, what do you desire? What are you passionate about? And I want to go back again, Thursday night. Thursday night has great creative, motivating, passionate energy. So the lust card could have another meaning. But I do feel like this is more about what is it that you are desiring, lusting after, wanting to call in, draw and attract into your life in 2023, and really write it down, put it on paper, create a vision board, create a mantra that encapsulates, create a little elevator pitch that you speak to yourself every morning that tells you what your life is, right? I am this, I am that, right? We have the card of principle. It's Jupiter in Sag. Jupiter rules Sag, this card. So this is saying what you want, if it is in alignment with the highest good of all involved, Spirit's got your back. You're going to have to take action this year. Nothing is going to be given to you. Nothing is going to be given to you. Saturn is going to move in conjunction with the equinox coming up in April, is going to move into Pisces. And so that's a lot like herding cats. And so this big dream, that expansive energy of Neptune, that Piscean energy, right? So Saturn's going to go in there and say, okay, you have this big dream. Now let's get to work. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get this done. Okay, we're going to have to build it. It's going to take a few years. Let's get the structure in place. And so between now and then, March 20th, between now and then, you have to identify what it is you want. You have to identify where you're at, what skills and abilities do you need to bring in, where are the helpers, what are the things that, it's like gathering up your tool, clearing your space, knowing what you want, and laying a really solid foundation and beginning the work with that new moon that comes up at the end of January in Aquarius when we move into the new lunar year. So this year, though, this week is about planning for that. Really big time planning for that. It's paying attention to the details. So we have here the card of a time to shine, creates the energetic resonance for golden opportunities and fairy magic, respectfully working with the with the fairies and the elementals to achieve your goals. So this is grounded energy. And grounded energy means you take the idea, then like a lightning bolt, out of the ethers and ground it. And you ground it by taking action. Taking action in alignment. This is not about, well, every day I sit down and I write out 10 times what it is I want to manifest, and then it magically appears at my door. Sometimes that happens, but that won't be this year. That will not be this year. This year, you have to drive the chariot. This year, you have to roll up your sleeves. You have to do the hard work. You have to make choices. You can't run in 16 different directions. You're going to have to pick your way, be flexible, be willing to adjust, be adaptable, and make your way through the choices and the decisions you make toward your goal. So overall energy for this week is really fun. It's the 6 of Cups, 6 of Summer. This is that holiday feeling of getting together with your friends and bringing in the new year and sitting down and watching a good football game on New Year's Eve. That's always a good time, right? That is always a good time. But I really want to encourage you to remember to have fun this week and not lose sight of the goal. So here we go. The key to the situation, 8 of Autumn, 8 of Pentacles. It's doing the hard work. Like you have to work. You're going to have to do the thing. So it says do more research before proceeding. Right now, in this space of time, we have about 3 weeks left of this space of time where we're not really moving fast yet. We're doing the research. Mercury in retrograde, that's review, that's research. It's all the RE words, right? And so it is education in the form of seminars, going back to school, apprenticeship, excellent craftsmanship, long-term projects. Why is it long-term projects? Because the 8 of Pentacles falls during Capricorn season. It does. That's where you get the 8, the 9, and the 10 of Pentacles. It is in the Capricorn season. And so when they show up here, and they're both here, the 8 and the 10, the 9's not here, but the 8 and the 10 are both here. This is Capricorn energy. And you are being asked this week to figure out what it is you want. What do you want? And be willing to do the work. Oh, wow, we have the other Capricorn card of the Devil showing up. That's fun. Okay, so here we are. In the area of what are you researching, we have a bright future manifested through hard work and creativity. Wow, we can't make this stuff up. Partnering with others to share your dreams, great progress being made. This is a week to assess. This is in the area of what information do you need to know? What do you need to know? What do you need to do? What do you need to learn? Who can work with you? Who are the people that are on board or on my team, my soul tribe, the soulmate energy of the 6 of Cups? Who else sees the vision I see? Who else is there to help me create and manifest and bring this in? The thing that is going to drain your energy is this card of the Hierophant. Okay, so it says unity, and I think that sometimes we feel like, well, it's always been done this way, so we need to do it this way. And then breaking out of that mold, getting out of the fixed energy and being open to change and adjusting. The more flexible you are this year, the more successful you will be. The more flexible you are this year, the more successful you will be. Because it is the energy of the 7. And so it's particularly around growing things, right? So the Seven of Pentacles falls during the energy of Virgo, which is, it is knowledge, it is research, it is trying things out, it is being willing to change. And so when you come up against this Hierophant that says, yeah, no, you need to make a big change, but I don't want you to change this, that can really be draining. And so again, you want to look for who's working with you. It says, do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you. Also, find yourself a spiritual-minded community. If you are watching this video, then you should be seeking like-minded people to help you to grow and expand in that way in your ability to connect in. So you will only benefit yourself the deeper you connect yourself with your higher self, who sees the big picture and can help you to navigate and to shift and to change. The challenge is this King of Pentacles, this King of Autumn. I think the challenge is to boss up in your own life. The challenge is, can you be your own King of Pentacles? Now, if you have it could be that you have a boss that's really rigid, and if that's the case, then is it in alignment with your ultimate goals, and is that worth staying there? But I think if we look at this another way, we look at the challenges to become the Ten of Pentacles, right? We want to become, and when I'm looking at these cards, I really think the challenge is to become the King of Pentacles, sorry. So be assertive when it comes to what you know is right, everything that is going your way, and a good person or company to work for. Can you accomplish and draw and attract to you what you want through your own compassionate understanding of other people and your willingness to do the hard work yourself? A lot of times, the King of Pentacles, it can be the boss that when they're in a lower vibrational energy that says to people, that's your job. And they really think you almost want to take on more of the mantle of the King of Wands, who will roll up his sleeves, get down there, and basically get under the car with you and help you fix it, under the chariot, and put the wheel back on. In the area of how do you transform your life, it's asking for help. You're not supposed to do this alone, right? We're looking for the helpers. We're looking for the professionals. Now, asking for help could be, who can teach me the skill I need? Who can provide childcare? Who can, do the grocery shopping so that I can stay later at work and get this project done? Like, whatever the goal is, right? And so the Ten of Wands says you don't have to do it all. If you're carrying such a heavy burden because you're not asking for help, then it's on you to ask for the help you need. That's how you're going to transform the situation, is seeking who can help you to lighten the load. 8 of Wands is manageable. 10 is way too much. So ask for help for others, all work and no play, and being weighed down by too much responsibility. So part of this alignment thing, especially with the 6 of Cups here, is reminding you that not only this week, but in 2023, you are going to want to stay balanced in your work life, right? So definitely want to make time for play and time to grow. Make time to work hard and to learn new skills, and to be creative. And it's a lot to ask, but this is a week where you can sit down and put this information on paper to really sort through it. What is the action to take? That's why I'm super excited. It's the Chariot card. I'm telling you, it's the year of the 7. Success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments and being in the spotlight. 1. What have you accomplished in 2022? Write that down. Not what you didn't get done. What did you do? Write it down. If it's 2 things, so what? It's 2 things that you didn't have done before. Okay? So you learned something, you grew something, you found out something, you understood something about yourself. What is it? What did you accomplish, right? So celebrate the fact that you are a manifestor of your own life. You are totally capable. Look, you did that stuff. And if you could do that, well, what else can you do with focused intention? What else can you do? And so you're being asked to do that. to move forward, taking actions that are in alignment with the ultimate goal and staying focused on the 10 of Autumn, the 10 of Pentacles, which to me is the having it all card in the tarot. It says take steps to ensure financial security of you, of your children, and other loved ones, making wise investments and planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. It is having it all. It's the legacy. It's the abundance. It's the ability to give to others and still have plenty, plenty, plenty for yourself. And this is in the area of resources. And resources is time, it's emotional energy, it's physical energy, it's mental energy, it's money, it's resources. And so being very abundant, staying focused on what the big goal and the big dream is, and taking actions that are in alignment with it. In the heart space, we have the card of the ego, the Devil card. It's asking you to not doubt yourself, to not doubt your abilities, to not feel trapped or bound to materialism. It is asking you to define what does success mean to you, right? Success may mean that you have more time for your friends or your family, and you still are able to, financially support the situation, right? So the ego reminds you that it's just an illusion that you're being trapped, and you're being asked to see past the illusion. And so the Devil card in this is a 6, right? 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. And the Lover's card is a 6. And we have this cute little 6 of summer here. It is asking you to understand that there's always a flip side. And so the choices and the decisions that you make determine the path that you're on. And you have control. You have control. It's what you decide to do. And so it is time to start anchoring in the energy of I can, I have, I am, right? I can does not put you in the present moment, but it's a big step up from I don't think, I never have, I can't. So if you can at least start with I can and finish out the year with the knowledge that I am what I decide to do. I am what I decide to be. I am a manifester of my own life through my choices and my decisions. And what I choose to do directly impacts what I am. So if I choose to be insecure or scared or fearful, then I will see the results of that with me being where I am right now. Or I am willing to roll up my sleeves. I work hard every day. Every day I do something. It doesn't have to be a lot, but I do something that puts me in alignment with achieving my goal. How do you transform the situation? Ask for help from others. In the area of what do you anchor your energy down into? The 5 of Pentacles. Reach out to others for assistance. Here we have this 2, where it's 2 people. It takes 2 people to portage, to carry a canoe from one body of water to the other. It's really hard to do it on your own. It's hard to do it with somebody. It's hard to do it on your own for sure. So partner with others who share your dreams. Ask for assistance. Reach out to others. You may be feeling very challenged by money issues. Who the heck isn't, really? I mean, seriously. So what's your goal? And what steps are you going to take? What is the action? What is the plan? What do you want to do? And it's totally up to you to create and decide this. It's time for you to boss up and be the King of Pentacles. And to not fall into the trap of feeling bound and tied to a situation that doesn't work for you. You don't have to be in the double energy. And don't let your ego get in the way. That card is actually called Ego. And we have 2 cards that specifically say to ask for assistance. So if you're letting your ego stop you from asking for the help that you need, that's a choice. Pride go before the fall, they say. All right, let's take a look at that Mercury in retrograde. So Mercury is going to retrograde all the way back to 8 degrees. It's been in its shadow since I think the 13th of December. I believe that's the correct date. And it doesn't clear its shadow until the 7th of February. And so that's interesting. Huh. That also carries the energy of a 7. It's the 7th day, but when you do the numerology, the entire date, you still get a 7. So that is that energy of once it clears its shadow is definitely moving forward, you driving the chariot, you making the choices. And so over this period of time, was retrograding from 24 degrees back to 8 degrees, this area is all going to be covered, okay, so 3 times this year. We actually finished 2023 with another Mercury retrograde that starts at that 8 degrees and retrogrades back into Sagittarius. And so over the course of this year, it won't have come back direct yet at the end of, but within the first month of 2024, all of the degree points in Capricorn will have been covered 3 times by Mercury. And so this Capricorn energy, as Pluto is wrapping up its visit here and won't be back for another 84 years, as it's wrapping up its time in Capricorn, it's about creating the structure that allows you to ascend. But you have to do the work. Okay? All right, I'm going to pull cards for this Mercury in retrograde and how it will affect your sign. We're going to start with Aries. And for Aries at 22:45, we have the Seagull. Adjust your behavior and communication. So, communication, definitely a Mercury thing. Adjust your behavior and communication. So I want to say, think before you speak, because when you see the seagulls, they're very aggressive. They're very loud and squawky. They make a lot of noise. They're very boisterous. And so during this Mercury retrograde, which it stations direct on the 18th of January, and it clears the shadow on. So the next 6 weeks, the work you do in quiet and in the silence and organizing things. When you ask for help, ask, not demand, right? And so the more that you work with this kind of energy, the better the foundation that it is that you are laying for yourself moving forward. And so that looks pretty cool, actually. All right, Taurus. Taurus is at 23 minutes. Taurus. Whoa, Taurus. Holy crap, you have the hummingbird. Dreams and a new joy are within reach. You guys event with the North Node in your sign, and this Mercury in retrograde is asking you to go over the details of it, particularly if you're a Taurus rising. It's in your 9th house, and so it's definitely about the research and reviewing and going over things and really connecting in. But the dreams and the new joy are within reach, and so it's creating that structure, that really solid foundation that will help you to carry your way through. I do over on Facebook every day, I do readings for the daily, and the daily for this energy this week started out with this Taurus here, this Venus and Taurus energy about, sticking to the plan and moving your way forward and not being the hummingbird. It moves from flower to flower. It doesn't just go to one and suck it dry, right? It moves from this one to that one. It's adaptable. It goes where the energy is flowing. And so a little bit of adaptability will allow you to reach your dreams and what it is that you want. That is really cool. All right, so Gemini. Gemini is at 24 minutes and 10 seconds. You have things are shape-shifting the Raven. So this Mercury in retrograde is helping you. Okay, while Mercury is in retrograde, we've got No, this is totally why. Okay, yeah. So Mars is in your sign. He stations direct on the 13th of January, and he starts moving forward. So then when Mercury stations direct about 5 days later, then things are starting to move forward, and that's when you're going to see things changing and shifting. You've been doing this review process, and then it'll be starting to, how do I redesign things? How do I reconfigure things so that it really works for me? And with it in Capricorn, for you, that is in your 8th house of transformation. And so talk about shape shifting, right? So that's if you're a Gemini rising. And so you have this raven that is encouraging you to be willing to be your mutable self and allow things to shift and change. And I think you've been wanting to do that, but Mars has really been slowing you down. And then Mercury rules your sign and also slowing everything down. But I think it's slowing things down so you can, or the universe can, get things into alignment so things start moving forward. But you are still going to be the one that has to do the work, right? You have to do the work. No one's going to do it for you. All right, so let's take a look at Cancer. Cancer will be at 25 minutes and 30 seconds. You have migration. All right. All right, migration. Take time to make a move. I'm sorry, time to make a move. You have the geese with your Capricorn energy. Okay, so take time. So that's moving in collaboration with others into a direction. Take time to make a move. They're moving backwards. So this adjustment, so whatever it is you're trying to do, so for you, this is your 7th house of relationships if you are Cancer rising. And this is really asking you to, it feels almost like going back home. But this is going back home to yourself. Going back to the dreams. Going back to where you came from. Going back to the authenticity of who you are and getting yourself back in an alignment. This is the year of the 7. That is the Chariot card. That is the Cancer card. And that is about movement. And so this year, if you have not, I wish more people would have sprung for the $11 there to get themselves that Cancer video, because this year it is about really making a big difference in your life by making the moves that you feel intuitively are correct and just putting in the work. But it's structured, right? When we have the geese, there's a structure to it. There's an organization to it. It's very streamlined. It's streamlined. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. It's very streamlined. It is very focused on where it is you're going. It is about being in alignment. Every move you make needs to be in alignment with the ultimate goal. So if you haven't figured out what your ultimate goal is yet for 2023, sit down and do that this week. So if you are Leo is at 2745. You have a card that's called Hunting. Pursue what you need. What you need. So start with meeting your needs this year. Assessing what it is you actually need. This isn't about every want and desire and thing that you lust after. This is, what are your needs for you to feel back into your energy of strength? You guys got beat the crap out of in 2022. So what helps you to feel solid and stable? That's what you need, right? What allows you? This is hunting. This is going for it, though. So this week, during Mercury in retrograde, is a great time to figure out what it is you really want and what do you need to do to get it. The time to move forward will be as things start moving forward here, because Mars gets into your sign pretty quickly. Once it gets out of Gemini, it flies, and it's in your sign before we get through this first quarter. So I think the timing on that really lines up with just about the time that Mercury clears its shadow. And so Mars in your sign is very much going to be like, let's go, let's get it done. And I think if you do the preparation, you'll be ready for that. All right, Virgo at 2915. You have unselfishness will renew you, the Pelican. What? You are the most service-oriented of the signs. It could be that you've felt like you've been giving too much of yourself away, and so maybe you have pulled it back like a pendulum that swings, right? Like a pendulum, it swings from left to right, right? So here you were giving too much, and then you're like, oh, I'm pulling it back, but you went too far this way, and so now you need to bring it back to the center. So if you've been feeling out of sync with who you are because you've been holding your energy in and not letting anybody take too much from you. You can't have me so much anymore, right? Like that feeling, and I totally get that. It might be that you've almost closed up too much. The Four of Pentacles. No, that's in Taurus. That's not you. You have the 6, you have the 5, 6, and 7. And we did have the 5 showing up. The 5 says to ask for assistance. So ask for the help that you need. You know, it almost might be that other people, when you ask them for the help and their willingness to give it, allow people the opportunity to give to you, will help you to come more back into balance also. So the Pelican only takes what it needs. And so it's really important that you ask for what you need so your needs are met. But you create that balance again for the give and take if the pendulum is swung in the other direction. And if that is not the case and you are not getting what you need because no one's giving it to you, ask for what you need, because when you're someone who gives all the time, people just expect you to do it, and they don't realize that they take it for granted. They take you for granted. And so sometimes a gentle reminder, a conversation. Mercury in retrograde, communication can get very muddled. It is a ruler of your sign, the ruler of your sign. And so sometimes, so take your time in this communication. Make sure that you are talking to people. I don't know. Make sure that you're talking to people, and asking them if they understand what you're trying to say without invite actual conversation, give and take, back and forth. Make sure that you really understand what each other is saying, because Mercury being retrograde. They think that in doing that, you're going to be able to find that balance where you're not being taken advantage of. Like that feels like a thing. Okay, so did I miss a sign? Aries, Gemini, Cancer. Okay, no. All right. All right, so Libra. Libra's at 32:45. Libra. Ooh, Libra, you have the pheasant, a time of fertility and creativity. This has been coming up a lot lately. So that idea that you had, that thing that you wanted to do while the energy is kind of slowed down, revisit it, edit it, revise it, go over things again. I think that you'll see things from a different perspective, and it'll allow you to sort things out in a way that allows you to have a finished product in which that you can present to your boss, your family, yourself. This creativity and fertility, though it feels business oriented to me because it's so grounded with the pheasant here. It's very Capricorn. It's about creating a structure. So maybe it's a new business model or plan. Maybe it's a workout system. You were working out and you haven't done it in a while, and you need to go back and revisit how you were doing it so you're more likely to stick with it. Something like that. Something very physical and grounded energy here. So it could be financial, or it could have to do with your physical body. And if you are not looking to get pregnant, watch out for that. Okay, so Scorpio at 34 and 10 seconds, 34 minutes, 10 seconds. You have the card of nesting, promise and hope. I love this. There's 3 little eggs there, which means there's like 3 opportunities, or it carries the energy of the Empress. It also carries this abundant energy. It's not just one, there's more than one. This is very community, so promise and hope. And so really, I think this is a time for you to focus on your hopes, your goals, your dreams, making commitments. I want to say to yourself and to your dreams first, and then maybe perhaps to someone else if it's included in this. This would be the kind of thing where, if you're looking to get pregnant, again, seems like a really good time. If you don't want to get pregnant, time to pay attention. Take appropriate action. Okay, so the swan. Swan. Sagittarius. Sagittarius is at 35 and 10 seconds. You have the swan. Magical realms are opening. The swan always looks like he's gliding. The swan looks like he's just easing across the lake. But it's about doing the work, because underneath he's paddling like crazy, right? So this is about the idea that something that seems like it's not really working, give it time and it will manifest into something beautiful, but you're going to have to put in the work. And so during Mercury in retrograde, what is this thing that you can pour a little more effort and energy into, so that when we come out of retrograde, it's something beautiful that seems effortless. Oh, that's like overnight success that just happened there. All right, Capricorn. Capricorn is at 36 minutes flat. I'm smiling like crazy because I'm a Capricorn rising. And we have here my spirit animal. The hawk showed up. I love this so much. So the hawk sees what it wants and it's willing to go for it. This is guardianship and strong vision. And I want to say, have and hold your strong vision. Protect your vision. I almost feel like, don't tell everybody what you're trying to do. Just start doing it. Protect your vision and go for it. Whatever that is, whatever you're trying to manifest, whatever you're trying to bring in. And the higher the view, like the wider you see, again, pull in the whole vision. And so I almost want to say, it's not just about 2023, it's about all the way through and into 2026, when Saturn, your ruling planet, leaves Pisces and moves into Aries. And so the longer term, right? You're a very long term, long vision, long planning kind of thing. And so take a look at that and see what that means for you and what you can do with that kind of energy. That's pretty cool. And I feel like your dreams are also being protected on the other side. So that's good news. All right, so let's see what we have for Aquarius. Aquarius is at 3725. Okay, so Aquarius, you have the bluebird of happiness. Gentleness brings happiness. So during this Mercury in retrograde, we are wrapping up the, if you're an Aquarius rising, your 12th house, which is always about pulling your energy in and nurturing and taking care of yourself, right? And so this gentleness with yourself and with others, this kindness, choosing to be the joy bringer to yourself and to others. I just heard whistle a happy tune. So the lighter and the brighter you make your spirit. I do want to point out they are blue because they are truthful and authentic, right? But there's all this creative sacral chakra energy here. So be creative in your unique and special way, and just create joy. And just the gentler that you are with yourself and those around you, the easier this retrograde period will be. And for Pisces, this card here. So you have the card of the Robin. A new spring is upon you. I really do feel this has way more to do with Saturn getting ready to move into your sign. It's going to completely be an energetic shift. It's going to be a boost. It's going to be a shot in the arm. It's going to be a lot of new growth that comes from that. So I want to say the early bird gets the worm. So what you can do during Mercury in retrograde is really figure out what your dreams are and what can you do, what research do you need to do, what groundwork can you lay, what can you revise, what can you edit in order to lay a foundation that when that happens at spring, right, at the spring equinox, It is on the day of the equinox that we also have a new moon happening, I think, on that same day. But it is on the day right around the equinox when we have the new moon that Saturn moves into your sign. It happens on the same day. Pretty powerful. So planning for the spring, what do you need to do to get organized, to be ready? Do that work now. That would be the best use of this time and energy. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. I hope that everybody had an enjoyable time today. I'm really glad that you showed up here to hang out with me. I truly appreciate your time and your energy. And I'm wishing you all a very successful New Year. We are going to do one on New Year's Eve. Not on New Year's Eve, but on New Year's Day. So we'll be looking at, I don't know what we're looking at. I have to figure that out. Probably looking at that Venus moving into Aquarius energy. She's only there for 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. So that feels kind of significant. So we might take a look at that. All right, you guys have a great week ahead. Be sure to check out on Facebook for the daily energies. And if you haven't seen your weekly sign-by-sign videos, make sure you check those out also. And you take good care. And I will see you next year.